Hey, what's up? It's Rob here, and if you're running your own clothing brand right now, I have a real treat for you here. I'm going to share with you what normal brands do that get common results, the average results that are actually pretty crap, if you ask me. Barely make any sales, barely gain any followers, barely really get anywhere with their brand. And I'm going to compare that to what maybe the top 5%, top 1% of startup clothing brands do that get them those out of proportion results that are just way better than all the other brands that are starting up. And the topic of this video is how rare behaviors equals rare results. The rarer it is that you're doing, the harder it is to replicate what you're doing. And when you're doing things that other people just practically aren't really capable of doing or aren't willing to do, it leads to those way above average results that other people don't normally get. And this is just sort of a basic principle in economics. The scarcer the resource, the more valuable it is. And what we're trying to do with your brand is turn your clothing brand into something that is scarce, it's hard to achieve, it's hard to do, so that you can get those results that not many people get. And real quick before we dive into it, Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at Design Crowd. If you struggle with designs, I seriously recommend that you try them out. You post your project to Design Crowd. Sick designers from all over the world are going to compete for your project. You choose the winner, then you get that design plus revisions. I've sold thousands of these designs that you're looking at on my website, and I got them all made through Design Crowd. If you're interested, head over to designcrowd.com/apparel to learn about the special offer, or just use the discount code apparel when you post a project on Design Crowd. Okay, so the first common thing that normal brands do that aren't getting very good results is they have a very loose brand concept. They don't quite know exactly who their clothing brand is for, what their clothing brand means, what it's all about. And when you don't really know what your brand's about, it makes it really hard for people that are coming across your brand to know what it's about, and you end up not really appealing to anybody. And the rare behavior here, the thing that maybe 5% or 1% of clothing brand startups do, is they have a very clear and focused brand concept, meaning they know exactly what their clothing brand is about. It's clear, it's well defined, and they understand it so that the people that they're selling to can understand it as well. The second thing that normal brands do that don't really get them good results is they don't really know who their target audience is. They don't know exactly who they're selling to, exactly who would want their products. They just sort of create a brand, and it's just a little bit loosey-goosey, and they don't know who it's for. The rare behavior here that will get you those rare results is to have a really well-defined target audience, knowing exactly who your brand is for and who you're selling it to. With my clothing brand, we represent rural Canada. We knew that our demographics were exactly male and female split, 50-50%. We were going after ages 25 to 34 in Canada, the country of Canada, in small towns with a population less than 50,000. Most of the people buying from us were blue collar. They watch TV shows like Letterkenny and Trailer Park Boys. They drink beer and they live life for the weekend. That's a very well-defined target audience where you know exactly who you're selling to. Can you do that for your own brand? It's really important to do that because so few brands actually do it, and that's why they just never end up selling anything or getting any really good results. Another thing that a lot of clothing brands do that's completely normal and common and they don't end up getting anywhere is they have a completely random posting schedule on social media. Maybe they post 4 times this week whenever they feel like it, then next week they stop posting, then the week after that maybe they post twice, and there's just no consistency to it. The rare behavior here is a consistent posting schedule. You post once a day for 6 months, you stick to it, and you get it done, and you don't not do that. Like for me on this YouTube channel, I've been doing this YouTube for 8 years. I haven't missed a single week uploading to this channel in 8 years. I've posted once a day to YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and TikTok for 6 months straight. I haven't missed it every single day. And it's that behavior. How many people do you know that are running their business, running their brand, that are that consistent for that long of time? That's the rare behavior, and that's what'll get you the rare results. Another normal thing that brands do when they wonder why they're not getting anywhere is they have low quality content. They don't really put much effort into thinking about the value their audience wants. What's the type of content that they want to consume? They end up creating just random content that they think is going to go viral, and they wonder why they're not. And it's just because it's regular content that nobody really wants to consume. And the rare behavior here is high value content. understanding what your target audience wants and putting an effort to create content that they'll actually want to consume. That's what I'm trying to do right now. For clothing brand owners, I'm hoping that this video, you can see the difference between what normal brands do and what gets you those rare results. This is supposed to be like top-notch, high-quality content for you here, and I'm putting all my effort into doing that for you, and hopefully it turns into a good video. Another thing that a lot of clothing brands do when they first start up, just normal and common, is they have minimal detail products. And what I mean by this is their products don't have anything special about them. They're just regular blanks, regular designs, nothing going on really with the clothing, which is okay if other areas of your brand are doing things that are very rare, like maybe you got worn by Justin Bieber or something crazy. But if you're trying to differentiate your brand from the products and stand out, you have to do something that other brands aren't doing, and you have to have that rare quality about them. And so the rare quality here is adding customizations to your clothing, adding features that you know your customers would want and appreciate in the clothing that you're making, and going that extra step to create high quality products. This next one here is super common. It's brands that have confusing website layout. A lot of brands that are starting up want to do something super cool and different, and so they make this website that's super hard to navigate. You don't know how to add to cart. You don't even know where the cart is. You don't know how to check out, and it just adds all this friction to your website for the user's experience. You just don't know where anything is, and you end up bouncing because it's just too confusing and weird. And so something that is very rare that clothing brands do that get good results is they actually keep their website simple and clean. It's easy to add to cart. It's easy to check out. There's zero friction on the website, and it's simple and clean, and it makes your brand look legit, more credible and professional rather than amateur. Another thing that like 90 to 95% of startup brands do completely wrong is they have spelling errors and grammar mistakes on their site, just riddled all over their website. They're completely unaware of. Like on their About Us page, there's things spelt wrong. Immediately destroys the credibility of your brand. People leave and they'll never want to buy from you. And so the rare behavior here is having an efficient use of words and no mistakes. And what I mean by efficient use of words is you only write words and enough words that need to be there. You're not rambling on, writing these weird paragraphs that are just there for the sake of being there to fill space. But every single word that you write on your site has a purpose, and it's there to deliver a message and to communicate your brand concept clearly to your target audience. Another thing that a lot of clothing brands I just don't think are aware of, and that's why it's a normal behavior that doesn't get you anywhere, is low social proof being displayed on your site. Come to your site, there's no evidence that your brand is selling anything to anyone. There's no pictures of anybody wearing it, and there's likely not very many pictures of high status people wearing your brand that your target audience would look up to. And the rare behavior here is having high social proof being displayed on your site. A lot of pictures of people wearing your clothing, maybe things mentioning how much clothing you've sold, where you've sold it, pictures of high status people that your target audience look up to wearing it. And you get that through sending out messages to influencers and celebrities, offering them free clothing, grinding all of that out to achieve that, which you're probably like, yeah, man, like that sounds hard to do. Yeah, because it's a rare behavior. It's a rare thing to acquire that, and it takes a rare amount of effort and a rare amount of dedication to try to achieve those things. But when you do, it'll make your brand stand out like crazy. The last three here are more your approach, your mindset, and your entrepreneurial beliefs that are just super common and normal that'll get you normal results. The first one is immediate gratification. Everything that you do, all of the effort that you put in, you need the results right now. You need that immediate gratification from everything that you're doing. That's the wrong way to look at all of this. And the rare way, the true, real entrepreneurial way that'll get you those rare results is to have long-term growth focus. So what you're doing this week will pay off a couple weeks from now. What you're doing this month will pay off next month. What you're doing this year will pay off next year. And you're focused on that long-term growth of your brand. You don't need everything to pay off in the moment. Another way to put this is the common way people think is to be results-oriented. All that they're focused on is why they're not getting enough sales right now, and they don't have enough sales, and everything is just about the results. And it just hangs you up, and that's all that you're focusing on, rather than being process-oriented, where you just stick to the process and you have faith that if you just do the right things for a long enough amount of time, it will pay off in the future. And the last common thing I see that's super normal, it'll get you normal results, is having low resourcefulness. You need a website built, but you don't want to go on YouTube and watch a tutorial on how to make it. So you just sit there and say, oh, well, I don't know how to make a website, so I guess I can't do this. Or you need to do photography and you don't just learn how to do it yourself. And there's all these different aspects of your brand, like design, shipping, all of this stuff that you need to learn, and you have to be resourceful to do it. And so the rare behavior here, the very few entrepreneurs that start up actually do, is just be resourceful. Find people in your network, dig in, learn these things so that you can get the job done yourself and start moving your brand forward rather than just ruminating on this whole victim mentality. And so basically, if you just focus on this side and doing these things, it's not just one of these things, it's all of them working together. You're going to stand out from like 90 to 95% of people who start up brands, and you're going to get better results than 90 to 95% of people who start up brands. And so I thought that was really important for you, and I hope that it helps. If you're running your own brand right now, you've got to check out the Apparel Success Mastermind. You get direct access to me, access to a community of other clothing brand owners, access to exclusive live streams we do every single month, and all of my courses are in there. You can learn more at apparelsuccessmastermind.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.